I know you weren't at the game Saturday, but when you saw the game, were there certain things or takeaways that you had? Maybe we can get your thoughts on now, please.
Yeah, I actually didn't get to the game until yesterday, and I think that was actually a good way to watch it. A little bit less emotion and look at it from a little bit more from above. And that's just it's a kind of a trend that's really been happening for the last, 10 days, 2 weeks. And that was kind of a culmination of a lot of things. So we're trying to work on things. I don't think it's been an easy ride for anybody in this league except for maybe Phoenix. But everybody else has been going through stretches where they're trying to figure it out and improve and work on some things. And that's where we are right now. Feel good about the session we had this morning. That does not guarantee anything, but, losing can be very humbling. And losing in that fashion is extremely humbling, and that forces you to really come together and work for solutions and really address things with detail. And that's where we are right now.
Coach, obviously the 4 losses in a row pull you down out of the one spot by minuscule percentage points, but it's still a dynamic. Is there a desire to have that thing as a thing to still grasp onto and fight?
Yeah, more from the standpoint, you want to be playing good basketball. You want to feel like you're improving and you're addressing things that need to be addressed. And then there's the competitive aspect for it, about it that, it's always good to compete for something. It's not the end-all, be-all, but it's a really competitive race in the East, and this is what you always want. You want to have the games have meaning and context and significance to them, and that's basically every game right now in the Eastern Conference. That makes it very compelling.
When the defense is at its best, and Bam tends to feel like the centerpiece, each edge, everything, what's the leading edge of Bam's impact on the defense? Is it who and what he's guarding and the space that you can depend on, or the fact that he can do that and clean up everything else sometimes?
Yeah, it's not one thing, and that just shows you how dynamic he is. We want him to be the head of our defense, the back of the defense, and everything in between. And he accepts all those responsibilities, and that's why he's in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. You have to be able to do a lot of different things and anchor, a great defense if you want to be considered in that running, and I think that's what Bam has done all year long. And how he does it in a dynamic fashion to be able to do it with different coverages. It's not just what the average fan thinks. They think it's just switch. That's not it. There's a lot of other nuances and several different coverages that he's really mastered, and that really helps us just be a really unique defensive team when we're at our best. And we'll get back to that.
So I know a big emphasis this season has been getting more shots up. Just lately, over the past few weeks, just the turnovers, maybe some of the rebounding issues. How painful has that been, kind of in just offensive issues you guys have?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you can keep it as simple as that. Get more shots on goal than the opponent. However you get to that, and we're aware of those things. It hasn't been something that has plagued us every single game. The turnovers. It's just when it goes, it goes, and it ends up being contagious. And we're working to address that you're going to have turnovers. We don't want to be a passive, prevent offensive team. We want to be an aggressive team. You have to take some chances with that, the way we play, especially with our passing and cutting and in transition. That'll sometimes lead to some turnovers, but reading the context of the game, what just happened in the previous 2 or 3 possessions, and making the necessary adjustment to be able to be a little bit more rock solid after that, that's an area that we are looking to improve.
Yeah, obviously, DC did it a couple of times too, but just being able to having to think like a head coach and be a head coach for a few hours, what can that do for Quinny? I mean, I know he's been here a long time, obviously.
Yeah.
It's different until you do it.
That's great.
What can that do for him?
Yeah, I mean, he has the full trust of everybody in the coaching staff, the team, and this is something that he's been developing now for several years. he runs some of our team meetings. He does some of our film sessions. He does large parts of our prep and practices or shoot-arounds. So I think, maybe it seemed like a significant move to everybody outside, but he's already, done all of these kind of responsibilities, just a matter of moving over that seat during an actual game. And he was fully prepared for it. That was not any kind of indication. This has been a trend that's really been happening to our team, for a little bit of time. That's why we want to grab hold of it right now.
Erik, a couple of things. Davion Mitchell is a starter. Your thoughts on him averaging about 19 a game, 6 assists, and
Yeah.
2, the Kings as a team amongst league leaders in points in the paint.
Oh,
What kind
yeah.
of concerns you have about
Yeah, I think this is a perfect team for us to play against. They're relentless. I know they have some guys out, but Mitchell fits their personality very well. He is aggressive, quick, strong with his drives. They're top 3 in the league in overall drives per game, points in the paint, attacks, cuts, offensive rebounding, all that stuff that when we're at our best, we defend that well. When we're not on a string and not really detailed, we can be hurt by teams like that. And he's been playing really good basketball with more opportunities, now because of the injuries and more experience. He's been playing his best basketball of the season.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Thank you.